Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. We're presented by the Navy Federal Credit Union. National Championship Week for the Navy rugby team. Back to Houston, Sabercat Stadium, a place that they are very familiar with, having played there last year. Please be joined by head coach Gavin Hickie. And, Coach, as you all have made this postseason run and you made your preparations for Houston, especially over this couple of week period of preparation here, have you changed anything this time around, from what you did the year before, having gone through that experience and obviously hoping you continue to repeat this year after year?
Yeah. Thanks a lot for having me on, Pete. It's always great to be here. No, we've changed nothing. We got asked recently about motivation to get back there, or what has changed and all that stuff. It's nothing's changed. We are being ourselves, and the greatest gift and prize that we have got over this year is the ability to spend more time together. We'll probably talk about it another stage, but we're very fortunate that we are being sent to the Pacific Islands on behalf of Secretary of the Navy and the United States President. The White House is sending Navy rugby men and women's to the Pacific Islands, rugby through diplomacy mission, which is commissioning week. And so it really hurts that for the first time in 7 years, we're missing commissioning. So the whole point of getting to this championship game was the ability to spend as much time as possible knowing that the coaches are going to miss commissioning. So nothing's changed. We just get to spend more time together, and that is the ultimate gift. We want to go and win this game, but that's the cherry on top. This is the prize right now, is spending this time together.
And let's talk about that for a minute, though. I know you love this sport passionately. You love coaching it. You love teaching it to young people who want to learn about it. That's what Navy rugby's been all about. I mean, quite frankly, it's been a ton of people who had not played it and became great athletes within this program. To be chosen to do something like that by the president's office and being able to reach out around the world and help grow this incredible game that's got an amazing amount of support and supporters. Just satisfaction wise, personally, what does that mean?
It's so humbling. We started this journey this year. This team started this journey in Ireland against Notre Dame. And we think back on that, and the crowd we had at the game was electric. And that's where we met the Secretary of the Navy. And subsequently, we met him a few other times. We were at the Pentagon last Monday with the Secretary of the Navy. So it's just, rugby has this ability to take you on a journey that you never saw coming. Says the Irishman sitting at the United States Naval Academy. Right? That's what rugby does to people. And it's such an amazing gift. It really is. We have, I think it's important that we say this, we have 5 out of the 15, so 15 people on a rugby team. 5 of those 15 who started against Life and who will start against St. Mary's have played rugby before. So the other 10 have never played rugby before. And yet here they are going to Ireland, going to California, going to the Pacific Islands. What an amazing gift. So that's what rugby does, and that's the ride we're on. So it's just, we're very, very, very fortunate.
I know I've talked to the athletes about it who have done exactly what you're talking about. But as a coach, as you identify those athletes and look even deeper, hey, is this someone that we can cultivate into the type of player that can be competitive? As you said, it's not, you're not like a football team. You don't have 140 people on your roster. You've got 15. But as you look into that, what are the traits you look for to identify someone that can eventually be top contributor in rugby?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We're blessed to be at the United States Naval Academy, because in order to get here, you're either, you're probably, from the athletic standpoint, you're obviously a standard athlete in some sport, in some discipline. And so we look for that. But what I would say is that we look for aggression, controlled aggression. And that's very important for who we are and who we will go on to be. And so having a fire that burns very brightly, that motivates you to push yourself in all areas of growth, is who we look for. So somebody who's very coachable. You wouldn't be here at the Naval Academy if you weren't. And somebody who's very aggressive but can control that aggression is probably the top two or three points we look for.
I know your athletes have been amazing at taking everything week by week, and when you talk to them, the message is the same from them, and that tells you about the culture of the program, the focus, the belief in what their qualities are, and the standards that they set for each other. But at any point, now, when Cal got knocked out, and knowing that they're not the carrot dangling at the end of the rainbow just because they were the one team that played really well. I mean, obviously, all credit to them. They played a great match in the regular season. But did you have to guard against that here as you prepared for what will be a tremendous St. Mary's team in this final?
No, the answer is no. The answer is we're about ourselves in our mind. And I appreciate it. It almost brings a tear to my eye, and I'm immensely proud of our midshipmen. I really am. But the journey is about us. It's not about the opposition. So we don't care who we play. We play anybody, anytime. Like last year, we hadn't beaten Cal, and we went on to beat Cal twice. This year, we had never beaten Life, and we beat Life twice, and here we are. The journey is not about the opponents. The journey is about ourselves. And each year, beauty of the sport and the beauty of collegiate athletics is that you get to reset every single year. So we've already spoken about this as a team. You know, this team's destiny is done in 4 or 5 days' time. You know, and what that looks like is yet to be written. But this team is done. And so we focus on ourselves all the time. So be it St. Mary's, be it Cal, and they're all very, very, very good rugby teams. Like I just said, we had 5 players who played rugby before they got here. St. Mary's have 15 plus. They've got a whole squad of guys who have, as have Cal. You know, and that's fine. Just our challenge. So the journey is about ourselves. It's never about the opponent. And you know, come 7 p.m. On Saturday, we'll find out everything we need to know about ourselves.
Obviously, this team, some different personnel, some different roles. What was the key to this team writing its own path to getting to this championship match?
Yeah, that's a good one. We ask ourselves that all the time, to be honest. And I think the last few weeks, we've probably learned a lot about ourselves. We've had a captain who's had to figure out a different way to lead, which was from the sideline for half the year because he was injured. And we've had other young men had to step up and lead. And we've had, we're a very young team. You know, we went varsity a year ago, which means that the freshmen this year, our plebes, that's our first recruiting class. And a lot of them are starting on the team. So we're a young team, and we're still figuring out exactly who we are, but we're gonna know come Saturday. But what I think you will see is the last few weeks. I mean, we had one of our guys, I think he made 24 tackles and no misses, and our captain made 18 tackles and no misses. And we're they. You know, I'm very conscious when I say we and they and use those things, but it's they. They are a very, very gritty team, and they're very hard to beat. And
is that one of the reasons why one match you can have William Webb and Ben Hall set the tone? Last week it was Vaughn Schmitz with his role that really set the tone for your team. Is that really why this team has been as successful as it's been?
Yes, 100%. And I love the fact that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So fair play there, Pete. Yeah, I mean, we all have a job to do. And whether that's Vaughn Schmitz stealing lineouts, I mean, Vaughn can't do that on his own. He needs 2 guys helping him get there. You know, he also needs lots of analysis as to where do the opposition throw to, you know, what are their tendencies. So we do all that stuff. But then again, it's a team effort of, okay, as I say to Vaughn all the time, if you don't steal a line out, I'm going to be annoyed at you. Right. So therefore, Vaughn is the boss of the 2 guys who are lifting him, right? Of the 2 guys who are getting him in position. So it's a completely collaborative effort. And at the end of the day, we've all just got to do our job. And that's what these young men are so good at doing.
You guys have been awesome defensively. It seems as if, focus on the plan, every guy carrying, the rope in the right direction. But the defense has been tremendous here in the playoff run again, overall, what's been the key to that consistency? Because obviously that's really the key to anything. You got to have consistency of that great effort.
We have no excuses not to defend. And I say this very, very sincerely. We are the Department of Defense, right? So defending shouldn't be a challenge for us. We should revel in the idea that we can quell somebody's attack. And that's who we are. So we're very conscious of St. Mary's, love to throw the ball around and they love to attack. That's all right, because we love to defend. That's who we are.
I'll let you out on this. I know last year when you went there, the Navy rugby community showed up in droves. And I know you guys are probably expecting the same thing, but you don't take it for granted. I think that's the important thing. But it's also the beauty of what this institution and what the culture of Navy rugby, even before varsity status, this was an incredible community of support to the rugby athletes. And I know you can't really place a value on that. And I know you're anticipating seeing that support Saturday down in Houston.
We outnumbered Cal massively in our supporters last year, and it was incredible. And I think this year we'll probably see even more Navy supporters and waving the towels supplied by Mr. Broadmerkle. It's last year, the final was like a home game for us. And we're very much expecting to be the same way this year. And it's incredibly exciting. So, just to sum it up, to get back there, to have the support that we do, it's so humbling. It really is. And for most of our guys, this is the last game of rugby they'll ever play. And we'll make sure that we make it count.
Gavin, appreciate the time as always. Nothing like exhausting your season to the farthest point it can go. Best of luck Saturday night down in Houston.
Can't thank you enough. In our mind, we've already won. We got to spend as much time together as possible. We've already won. Now we just have to go and put the cherry on top. Thank you very much, Pete.